So today is a day of complaints and murmuring, man. I'm just really getting frustrated with hearing the same old thing over and over from these sports announcers and not even just them, but the analysts have taken things too far when it comes to sports. And now we're just talking about the game of basketball in general, but I'm probably gonna hit a landscape, of certain sports, man, because I'm just getting tired of hearing it. I was watching Undisputed today, and you got Skip Bayless, and I have to smash on him, man, because I'm getting real tired of his opinion, on what a sport should be about, what a player should be about, what these guys should be doing, what should be happening out there. And my thing is that if you haven't really played the game, if you really haven't played organized sports before at a consistent rate, you're not going to understand what it is that you're watching or the product that's being presented to you on the television. So, he's talking about OKC today and how they lost to, I think, Sacramento. And he goes into this whole soliloquy about, whose team is it? He constantly keeps doing that over and over again. Whose team is it? Who's going to be the guy to take over? Why didn't they just defer to him? He's the star of the team. He should be doing this and he should be doing that. It's Russell Westbrook's team, and I'm tired of hearing people say that. And I know that they've gotten this stuff from these analysts because back in the day, in the 80s and 90s when I was watching the game, it wasn't really about whose team was it. Oh, it's his team. It's his team. It's his team. All of this stuff started under the guise of Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, all of this, Steve Francis, Tracy McGrady, when those guys were out there, Stephon Marbury, when guys were out there, taking matters into their own hands, dribbling by guys, dunking on guys, scoring on guys in multiple ways. People got used to seeing that and it became entertaining, but that is not basketball, man. Basketball is predicated off of plays, plays, matchups, and situations and circumstances that develop out on the court. So you have to play within that guideline, and this is why teams like San Antonio, since we want to be current, San Antonio and Golden State right now are having great success. It's not because they're going under that guise of whose team is it and all of this stuff. What they're doing is they're going based off of what I said. Off of matchups, off of situations and circumstances happening out on the floor, um, rhythm, the rhythm, and the flow of the game. So what I mean by that is, if you guys don't understand, is basically, it's gonna be determined by matchups out on the floor. So if you got a weaker guy on the opposing team, playing up against somebody like Durant or Thompson or Draymond Green or Steph Curry, if you got a weaker link on the defensive end going up against this guy, then you call plays. You call plays for the individual that has the best possible matchup out on the floor. And that's how you get your opportunities. Now, if the opposing team is decides that, hey, this guy's a weak link on defense, we're going to start doubling or we're going to run a zone or we're going to do this or that. If they start doing that and the guy that's supposed to be the guy, as Skip Bayless says, if he's supposed to be the takeover king, if he's out there taking over the whole game, doing this, doing that, driving, shooting, getting to the free throw line, doing what he do, and then they start doubling up on this guy, and he doesn't defer to his teammates. At some point during the game, he doesn't call plays for him. He doesn't do this or that. Then you're gonna start seeing a lackadaisical style of play out there. You're gonna start seeing guys running down court, not moving in motion, not moving without the ball, just not doing anything, just kind of hanging around watching what this guy is going to do. That's supposed to be the guy on the team, the takeover king. They're just going to be watching this guy play his brand of basketball. And what's going to happen later on is the rest of the team, when he begins to try to defer to other people, they're not going to be in rhythm. They're not going to be in rhythm. They're not going to be, because they're not in the flow of the offense. So you're going to see them just jacking up shots that don't even make sense. You're going to be like, well, why is he taking a 3-point shot when he should have just did this? Well, why is he taking the mid-range shot when he should have just put the ball on the floor and drove? Because right now, nothing in the mind of that player right now makes any sense on the floor. And on top of it, he hasn't been in the flow of the offense the whole time. So, of course, he's not going to be in rhythm. Of course, he's probably going to miss a shot that he should have dropped easily, and things like that, because you're not running plays. So when you have a team style of play out there, then you have a guy that's running and calling plays the way that he should, and getting the guys involved that needs to get involved on the team. Let's say it's OKC, and you got Westbrook, and you got Paul George, and you got Carmelo Anthony out there. Like what happened against Sacramento? What happens is what needs to happen is you need to look at Carmelo Anthony and say, hey, we need him to operate off the low block, or whatever the team is. What needs to happen is the fact that you need to have a team that comes in with the mindset that this is our identity, and this is what we're gonna do coming into the game. So that right there is the mindset of mostly every team in the NBA anyway. But they don't, for whatever reason, they get in the game, and it goes away. But we can talk about that. But what happens is that they're gonna come in and they're gonna play the style of offense that they're gonna play, and the other team then has to make adjustments based on what they see. So the thing, especially if they don't have a defensive identity, so they're gonna have to make adjustments on the fly. So now you got guys out there that's looking like they just doing whatever they want to do on the offensive end, and it's really not like that. What's happening is they see the matchups and they see the mismatches, and they're taking advantage of it through these guys that can do what they do best. Based on the flow of the offense. Like I said, it's based on the flow of the offense. So if they want Carmelo Anthony to operate off the low block and post people up and drive, then that's what he's going to be used to do, and he's going to dominate his guy that apparently can't defend him. If they want him to operate once again near the baseline, but they want him to take the mid-range jumper, then that's what he's going to do. He's going to spot up and take a mid-range jumper. If they want him to shoot threes, then they're going to put him in position to shoot threes. So it's not just running down and taking 3-point shots, even though you see that stuff happening in the league, and that's mostly because guys are either trying to heat check, or they just trying to get in the rhythm. Feel the ball flowing off their fingers. Get loose. Things like that. So everybody's just trying to touch the ball at some point during the game. Now you have to decide as a team coming in based on your identity if you're gonna run how you're gonna run. From either quarter to quarter you're gonna play, or you can do halves. You might run like this in the first half, and then run like that in the second half. But that's only for the elite teams. That's only for elite coaches. That's going to be able to put together the best possible game plan out there. To get what they want to get out of the players, and exploit the defense and do what it is that they're trying to do. Force them to play the style of game that they want them to play. Now, if you're a good coach and you can coach the defensive end, then you're gonna try to force these guys into mistakes. If they're driving in the first half, or if they're driving every quarter, then you're gonna make sure that you either start trapping, or you double, or you start running zones, and force them out of the paint. That's gonna determine the jump shots. Now it's up to the defender to get into the face of these guys that can actually knock down an open 3-point shot. But at the end of the day, if they haven't been in rhythm, they're not going to be making them on a consistent basis. And that's when you're going to see the quote unquote takeover game. Now you need a guy that's going to be able to either be the best player on the team, and that's determined based on the players, in practice or what have you. This guy's dominating everybody no matter what, so he's the best player on the team, things of that nature. But, if he's the best player on the team, now you're going to look to him to do what it is that he does best. But at the end of the day, if he hasn't been able to come in and dominate from the get go, it's not going to matter anyway. They're going to end up losing, and that's exactly what happened. Or they're going to let a team that's not even supposed to be in the ball game, or that was getting blown out in one half, they're going to allow these guys to come back, and then they're going to win by like 3 or 6 points, or sometimes even 2 points. So, either way, a win is a win. But I'm just saying, these are the things that you end up seeing out there, on the floor developing. And then you get dummies on TV talking stupid like that. Oh man, whose team is it? If it's his team, then he need to do this and he need to do that. Well, it's his team. He's the man on the team, so he needs to take control of this game. He's the biggest star out there, and all of this dumb stuff. And none of that stuff factors into what I said, which is flow, which is situations and circumstances on the floor, and matchups. That's what the game boils down to: running plays, situations and circumstances, flow and rhythm. That's how you play. That's basketball. What the hell are these people talking about, man? It just irritates the hell out of me when I have to turn on my TV and I see stupid stuff like that, man. I'm tired of it, and it's translating into all of these other sports. This is what they want to see. You can't go based off of what you saw one era or another, one era to another one, and then throw it over into this era, and then say that this is what needs to happen. And this is why these young guys are coming out of high school and college with that mindset that they got to be the takeover king. And this is why they get to the NBA and they look like crap, because they're too busy trying to be the man when they need to learn the actual game, learn how to play within the flow of the offense, learn how to call plays, learn mismatch issues. You need those cues in order for you to be dominant and be effective. And that's how the guys that were at the golden age of basketball, if you will, between the 80s and 90s, that's how they were out there dominating, because they took what the defense gave them, or they took what the game plan that the coach had set out, between running the plays, between the rhythm and the flow, and the situations and circumstances that were developing out on the floor. They exploited that, and it looked like they were just out there dominating guys, but it's because they ran the plays. Anyway, I'm out, man. I just had to talk about that because I'm sick of that. Peace.